We just had Nick Sirianni on this program, and he was talking about how you have to block out the noise. You have to accept the criticism and know some of it's warranted while discarding the ones that you think are unwarranted.
Uh-oh, here we go.
I totally got it. I totally understood what he was saying.
Go.
And I told him the reason why I got it is because I'm from the Northeast, and I understand that people who succeed in positions like the ones that he has needs to have that sensibility in order to succeed in a place like Philadelphia. So that's why I told him there. I almost told him, I get it, because I have to fight through all this with my power rankings every week.
Of course, yeah.
But I figured I should relate to him.
Sure. Yeah.
Not use my real estate with him for my own issues.
Right.
That's a YP from his perspective.
That's good discipline on your part.
Yeah, Rich, that was good.
Well, I'm multifaceted is what I'm saying.
Sure, right.
But once again, it is time to accept some criticism and block out most of it for my weekly power rankings. Hit it.
This is mine.
Power rankings.
There are many like it, but this one is mine.
Power rankings.
Yes, it's time for my power rankings, and this was particularly difficult.
Oh.
Because would you care to guess how many of the teams on my power rankings from last week went on to lose their game this past week?
Got to be half.
The answer is 7.
Oh, that's a shame.
7 teams on my power rankings last week lost their game.
That's a shame.
7 of them. So there's lots of jumbling, and there'll be lots of stuff from you. But they lost their game. How could they stay put? And yes, that's how you sound.
Is that Chris? I know one team that didn't lose their game, though.
Number 10 on this list, down one spot, are the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're 10th on the list. They are 8-5. Once upon a time, 8-3. Bless Trevor Lawrence for having whatever sinewy ligaments. You want to put it T-Laws, sinewy ligaments down for a fantasy team name?
Spell that.
I don't know. Sinewy.
Oh, okay.
What he said.
Cool.
How does this guy play a football game? He wasn't even walking like Fred G. Sanford. He was barely able to amble.
Elizabeth?
And then next time we see him on a football field, he's going through all of his pregame, ankle flexion warm-up thingies, and he's going out there and damn near beating the Cleveland Browns. So I've got him 10th on the list, just down one spot, because I can't quit the AFC South leader that had a chance to be the 1 seed about 8 quarters ago.
They should have been higher to begin with. I mean, come on.
Number 9. Back on the list. New to the list this week. I'm putting the Cleveland Browns.
Flacco Sans.
The Flacco Sans is on.
I got him in fantasy.
Joe Flacco is now 2-0. Right?
No, he's 1-1.
No, it's 1-1. Pardon me. I just he's 1-1.
But he's played really well.
He's now
in both
one.
games.
He helped the Cleveland Browns. Here's the stat. That was right. He has now helped the Cleveland Browns to become the rare team to win 4 games in a season with 4 different quarterbacks. That has happened.
How?
Well, the defense is a big help, and that's why they're 9th on the, because that defense. I mean, Myles Garrett is a one-armed Myles Garrett is better than 2-armed most people.
3 arms.
Okay, and they're gonna get Ward back at some point. I thought they were gonna get him back this past week. They didn't, and they still beat this team from Jacksonville.
They've lost so many key players to injury. It's amazing.
8th on the list are the Detroit Lions, down one spot. That's all I could say about the Detroit Lions right now.
You sounded disgusted.
Well, I'm not disgusted. I'm disappointed, and they could have easily been swept by the Chicago Bears, kiddos, and then they lost to Green Bay on Thanksgiving in a very dispirited day for them. They just got to get back to that Hannibal Lecter mentality, and the coach is going to have to do it on Saturday night on NFL Network, home against Denver. And then 2 games against Minnesota. There's a big game at Dallas, but they're still on my list here. The Sun God has been eclipsed
a little bit
the last couple of weeks as well. So they got to get back to the run game, play off it, and then have Goff make fewer mistakes. How does that sound? The offensive line is seeming in trouble to protect them now. And that has been their strength. At any rate, number 7 on this list, down 2 spots, are the Miami Dolphins. I have them at number 7, and the reason why they're at 7 and not 6 is because I put the team at 6 above them that's beaten them. And the Dolphins, that was a very disappointing loss. And I don't know what to make of them right now, other than the fact that I need to see something from them against a team that they're going to have to beat and get past in the playoffs for me to, get a little bit more hope in them. Now they're hurt on that offensive line. They have gotten crushed offensive line injury ways. They've lost their center for the year, which is really problematic. So they're 7, and the Chiefs are 6. I didn't make any changes on them. Man, they could have easily won this game, and I'm so upset with the way that they handled this loss in the final minute and minutes after it. It just, I obviously, as I said on the previous program, if there's anybody who's earned a pass, it's Patrick Mahomes. But the thing that I'm really disappointed about is I feel it's born out of his frustration with people he can't be outwardly frustrated towards. If I may dangle a preposition at the end there. It just is one of those things where he can't scream at his receivers who keep on letting him down, so he'll just take it out on an official. Uncharacteristically. Yeah. I'm concerned about him just for that alone. Number 5, back on the list, I have the Buffalo Bills in my top 5 again because they're playing like a top 5 team now. I'm sorry, folks, if you think that I'm overrating them. I don't believe I am. I even toyed about having them as the number 1 ranked team in the AFC on my list.
I would say they're at least 2nd, right? In terms of talent and how they're playing.
Well, you haven't heard the name Ravens yet, so
that's what I mean.
Correct.
The second best.
I mean,
AFC
right now.
team, yeah.
And this is the eye test, and you could see it, you could feel it. The old Josh Allen's back. Whatever their issues on offense were, I believe, have been fixed. Defensively, they're also banged up, but keep on keeping on. What a game against Dallas this weekend. Number 4 on the list are the Eagles, down 2 spots. I think we all understand what's going on with them. Number 3 on the list, no change. They needed to overcome a lot of defensive lapses, but they have an MVP candidate at quarterback. Some of the plays that Lamar Jackson made against the Los Angeles Rams, stepping up in the pocket and keeping his head up the field. The touchdown he threw to Zay Flowers and then the 2-point conversion after it are 2 plays you should seek out and go, that's the Lamar Jackson. That is an MVP, Lamar Jackson, keeping the play alive, keeping his head up, not going out the gate, but throwing for touchdowns. That is the guy right there. And then defensively, I'm concerned about Kyle Hamilton's injury. It's a different defense without him, as we saw against the Rams. Number 2, up 2 spots. This is the highest I have placed the Dallas Cowboys all year. They've earned it.
Here we go.
Here we go. They've earned it.
Yeah, they have.
They have absolutely earned it. Dak is an MVP candidate, notwithstanding Cam Newton's evaluation. We'll talk about that later on. The defense is balling out. They got playmakers on every level, and they have maybe the best kicker we've seen since Justin Tucker. And I know that's saying a lot. Brandon Aubrey is amazing.
You're not off.
So it's all phases working. Their punter doesn't even work. That's how it's working.
Well, he holds for the kicks.
Brian, the only anger you see is,
him not getting on the field.
Him not getting on the field from Brian. Number 1 of the 49ers.
He got contract incentives.
Number 1 of the 49ers, that goes without saying as well. Off the list are the Texans and the Packers. And that is my list of power rankings. Week 15, baby. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.